What if your AI didn't just answer questions, but actually worked like a real employee, thinking, planning, and completing tasks on its own without you constantly guiding it? Because that is exactly where AI is heading, and Claude Opus 4.7 is one of the clearest examples of that shift. Now recently, Anthropic introduced Claude Opus 4.7, and they're calling it their most capable publicly available model so far. But here's the interesting part. Even they admit this is not their most powerful system. There's something even more advanced called Mythos, which they haven't released publicly yet. So what you're getting with Opus 4.7 is a very powerful but carefully controlled version of what's coming next. And that tells you something important. AI is progressing faster than what we're actually allowed to use. Now let's talk about what's actually new. The first major change is that Claude Opus 4.7 is much better at handling real-world tasks, not just answering questions, but actually working through problems. Earlier models were good at giving responses, but this one is much better at following instructions, handling ambiguity, and staying consistent across long tasks. And this matters because real work is messy. Instructions are not always clear. Problems are not always simple. And now Claude can deal with that. Another major upgrade is something called long horizon task handling. Now this is a big concept, but very simple to understand. Earlier, AI worked in short bursts. You ask something, it answers, and stops. But now, you can give Claude a full task, something like analyze this data set, create a report, and suggest improvements. And instead of stopping halfway, it continues working, step by step, until the task is completed. This is what they call long horizon reasoning. And this is one of the biggest upgrades in Opus 4.7. Because now, AI is not just helping with tasks, it's handling entire workflows. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Claude Opus 4.7 introduces something called adaptive thinking, which basically means it decides how much thinking is needed based on the task. So if you ask a simple question, it responds quickly. But if the task is complex, it slows down, thinks deeper, and produces a more detailed answer. This is important because earlier models treated everything the same way. Now, the intelligence adapts, and that makes the responses feel much more natural and much more useful. Another major improvement is in coding, and this is not just a small upgrade. Claude Opus 4.7 performs significantly better in software engineering tasks. It can handle complex coding problems, multi-step debugging, and even large system-level reasoning. In fact, benchmarks like SWE Bench show strong improvements, which basically means it's better at solving real coding challenges, not just writing snippets. So instead of just helping you write code, it can actually help you build things, and that's a big shift. Now let's talk about something most people overlook: visual intelligence. Claude Opus 4.7 now supports higher resolution images, up to 2,576 pixels, which is more than 3 times the previous limit. Now why does this matter? Because this means it can analyze charts, documents, dashboards, and even UI screens much more accurately. So instead of just reading text, it can understand visual data properly. This opens up use cases like financial analysis, document processing, and UI-based workflows. Now another important upgrade is reliability. One of the biggest problems with AI has always been hallucinations, giving confident but incorrect answers. But with Claude Opus 4.7, Anthropic has improved honesty, reduced important omissions, and improved factual accuracy, which means you can trust the output more. And this is critical for real-world use, because if AI is going to handle actual work, it needs to be reliable.
Now let's talk about autonomy, because this is where the real shift is happening. Claude Opus 4.7 is much more autonomous, which means you don't have to guide every step. You give it a goal, and it continues working on its own. This is what people call agentic behavior, and this is the future of AI. Not just answering, but acting. Not just responding, but executing. And once you experience this, you realize something very quickly. You're not just using AI anymore, you're delegating work to it. Now, another interesting improvement is tool usage. Claude is now better at interacting with external systems, things like files, APIs, and connected tools, which means it can actually perform actions, not just suggest them. This is what makes automation possible, because earlier, AI would tell you what to do. Now, it can help you do it, and that's a massive difference. Now let's talk about scale, because Claude Opus 4.7 supports a context window of up to 1 million tokens, which is massive. This means it can process extremely large amounts of information in a single interaction, entire documents, code bases, or data sets all at once. And this makes it ideal for research, analysis, and enterprise workflows. Now here's something important and often misunderstood. With all these improvements, there is a trade-off. Claude Opus 4.7 may use more tokens, in some cases around 1.0 to 1.35 times more than before. Why? Because it's thinking more, and deeper thinking requires more computation. So yes, the cost can increase slightly, but in return, you get better output. And for serious work, that trade-off is usually worth it. Now let's talk about safety, because this is a big part of this release. Anthropic has intentionally limited certain capabilities, especially in cybersecurity. Why? Because their more powerful model, Mythos, is extremely advanced in that area. And instead of releasing something risky, they've reduced those capabilities and added safeguards. This shows something important. AI companies are not just building powerful systems, they're trying to release them responsibly. And Claude Opus 4.7 is like a testing ground for future, more powerful models. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Claude Opus 4.7 is not just an upgrade, it's a transition. From AI that answers questions to AI that completes tasks, from tool to assistant, and slowly from assistant to autonomous worker. And if you think about it, this changes how we use AI completely. Instead of asking, "Can you help me?" you start saying, "Do this." And that shift is massive, because now AI is not just saving time, it's taking over work. And if you combine everything we discussed, here's what Claude Opus 4.7 really brings: better reasoning, better coding, better visual understanding, better reliability, more autonomy, more adaptability, and real-world usability. And all of this points to one thing: AI is no longer experimental, it's becoming operational. It's becoming part of real workflows, real businesses, real work. And this is just the beginning, because remember, this isn't even their most powerful model. So imagine what's coming next. Now here's the final thought. If you're still using AI like a chatbot, asking random questions, getting random answers, you're missing the bigger picture. Because tools like Claude Opus 4.7 are not designed just to chat. They're designed to work. And once you start using them that way, everything changes. So don't just use AI, build systems with it. Because the future is not about asking better questions, it's about assigning better tasks. If you like this knowledge, subscribe to my channel, IT for Next Gen, and share your views in comment section.